perfection. I wondered if I'd really pass the test. I didn't know if I could see the end. I tried and tried and cried and cried and tried some more, but I knew somehow I couldn't make perfection live for me anymore. I don't need perfection. It's not what it's locked up to be, and I can't be perfect, not deep inside of me, if I don't have connection with spirit in me. I am where I am right here, right now, and this is who I'm meant to be. Try the second verse. Well, I used to feel locked up in my uncertainty, and I'd had friends who told me that's how it was. They felt the same as me. Well, I tried and tried, worked and cried and tried to do my best. What if perfection really isn't the goal? That's not how you have to pass the test. All right, I don't need perfection. It's not all it's cracked up to be. I just long for connection with spirit in me. Doing what I can, that's who I am. I am who I am right here, right now, and that's who I'm meant to be. We're all gonna stumble, we're gonna fall. Once or twice it happens to us all. But then you pick yourself up, you start all over, and then you stand up tall. We don't need perfection. Perfection's not so perfect for you and me. We just all want connection with divine spirit. That's the key. We are who we are. I am who I am. We're all sitting here right where we stand, and this is where we're all meant to be. We're all meant to be. Say it one more time. We're all meant to be. New dawn, you and me.
Please join me in prayer. We give thanks this afternoon that we get to come together under the July theme of practice makes imperfect. There is no need to improve upon that one life, that one perfect life that is God, that life that belongs to each and every one of us here and now. because we are perfect, whole, and complete in form and substance. There is no improvement on that is already perfect. And Spirit will speak to Dennise, through Dennise, as she asked the question, what of perfection isn't the goal? There's no need to reach for what already is. And we come together to celebrate that together with every person in this room, with everyone that is within the sound of my voice. We know deep down inside that this life that is God is ours for the asking. And we give thanks for the fact that there's no need through any effort of our own to gain any additional favor, because we're loved unconditionally exactly as we are in this moment, because our lives matter. We are worth our own effort, and there's never anything to fix. And so I give thanks for everyone that's come here today to make this celebration perfect. For our musician, Karen. For our AV genius, Travis. I give thanks for our Dennise, through whom Spirit is going to speak today. I give thanks for all of our practitioners here. I give thanks for our ushers here. And for each and every member of this community that's here, I give thanks for everybody that's in the sound of this voice, in the knowledge that they will receive exactly what it is they need right here and right now. I give thanks for every light being in this sanctuary. I give thanks for everyone within the sound of my voice. And with deep gratitude, get to say these words. And I release these words into that divine universal mind, where all of these things are already done by a power that knows how to mold, make, shape, and create all the good there is. I let this go, I let it be. Together we affirm, and so it is. I'm sorry, Siri made a feeble attempt to seize control of the operation there for a second. I have some words of inspiration that I hope you'll find inspiring. Our first are from A.L. Kitzelman. The words I am are potent words. Be careful what you hitch to them. The thing you're claiming has a way of coming back to you. Our second set of words are from Brene Brown. The better we are at accepting ourselves and others, the more compassionate we become. From our founder, the Honorable Dr. Ernest Holmes, within us is the unborn possibility of limitless experience. Ours is the privilege of giving birth to it.
Happy Sunday, New Dawn. Thank you. I told you it would be exactly what it was supposed to be, right? It was, and it was just what we needed to get us started today. Before I start on the talk, I want to expand a little on some of the things Russell said in his announcements. Number one, next weekend is Membership Sunday. We're recommitting. I'm bringing gifts. You don't want to miss gifts. I'm bringing gifts, and we are having the new member class afterwards. I know that Sharon and Clydine have been working really diligently alongside Russell and Sue to put some stuff together for that. If you are a member, you think you're a member, I think I did that about 20 years ago. What's going on? it might be a good idea to just show up. It might just be a good idea to get a good reminder. It's another opportunity for community. It's another opportunity to see what's going on at New Dawn that may be new and different or old and familiar, but it's a good opportunity to be back in that community for a bit. Number 2, yes, we are doing a prayer Zoom meeting on Tuesday, 2:30 to 3 for Dawn. I'm honored to do that. If you're not a Zoom technician and you don't think I want to join that Zoom prayer thing, but I'm going to pray for Dawn, maybe just set a little reminder in your phone. Because we've been told time and time and time and time and time again that when one or more are gathered, and we don't have to be gathered in the same space, we don't have to be gathered on the same screen, we have to be gathered in the same consciousness of wellness that is going to lift Dawn up. So if you want to be part of that Zoom meeting, great. If you don't want to be part of the Zoom meeting, but you still have that intention in your heart, just set the reminder. And at 2:30 on Tuesday, stop and pray, and it'll just add more juice to the good juice we got going, right? Number 3, I'm going to mention it now, and it's going to start showing up in the announcements and in happenings while I'm on vacation, is we always follow CSL's global themes, or we have since Rev Jen left and some prior to that. We're going to step away from that for September and October in interest of what you guys are interested in. And one of those things has been Metaphysical Bible. So we are going to cover the Metaphysical Bible for the 5-week talks in September. We're gathering up. I'm going to talk because you guys can't get enough of me. But we also have Christine Monk's coming back, and Lauren will be here because I've heard her talk on Adam and Eve, and it's brilliant. And we're looking, and we're adding to that. But in addition to the 5-week Sundays, we're going to be doing a Metaphysical Bible class, and we'll firm up the times, but it will be on Tuesday mornings in person here, but also available online, just in case. I know my daughter-in-law, who graduated from Colorado Christian University with a degree in biblical studies and early childhood education, wants to join in, but they're in Ohio. So we're going to make it happen so that you can also join the class online, and then the sessions will be taped if you missed one, so you don't really miss anything. We don't really have the bandwidth around here to do an 8-week class, or maybe even a 6-week class. We're going to go in the middle and do 5, because what you're used to is 4. Because it's a 5-week month anyway, we're going to do 5 weeks. We're just going to do a little introduction that first week about why we want to know about the Bible, and also just a little background on what you've probably been taught is the Old Testament. What I've been taught in all of my classes was the Hebrew Bible. They don't like it when you call it old. It's still a living document for the people practicing Judaism. So we're going to do a little bit on that, and then the rest of the time we're going to cover the New Testament, really leaning into the Gospels. So that's what we have in store, and I don't want to save it until pop it on you the last week of August or something like that. Just let you know it's coming so that if you have something you do on Tuesday mornings, you can start switching that around if it's something that you're interested in participating in. Did I cover that well enough? Okay, good. So for today, we're still working with the global theme, and this month's theme, like Russell said, is Practice Makes Imperfect, based on the book Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown. And today's talk title is What If Perfection Isn't the Goal? What if perfection isn't even a real thing? I'd like to switch that word. I just like have it struck from the English language. What if it's not perfection, it's divine? We tell people all the time that you are perfect, whole, and complete just as you are, and you are. But what if perfection means we're all, that to me leads an impossible standard where we all have to be the same, we all have to be just alike. And so what if we just decide to let perfection go for the day and call it divine, just for now. I know this is a bit challenging for me because I will just admit to you, I am a perfectionist. I am. I have been most of my life. And I also have a good touch of OCD, not just a little one, a broad stroke of OCD. And it's not about everything in my life. I'm okay if I don't get my blinker on exactly in time when I'm driving. But every now and then it grips me. And I spend 20, 30 minutes loading the dishwasher because all the spoons have to be in the same little compartment of the silverware basket, and they all have to be facing the same direction so that they all get good and clean, and when I just grab them out, I can put them away, and they'll be stacked perfectly in the silverware drawer. You all do that too, right? I'm certain of it. And the other place where it shows up for me all the time is the shower. I have a set deal in the shower. It goes shampoo, conditioner, face wash, shave cream, body wash, scrunchie. Don't mess with it. I actually, and now living with my husband and 2 little kids, I gotta check the shower before I get in, because maybe somebody moved my stuff. Okay? Is that the kind of way we want to live? Now, I allow myself the shower thing because it just makes sense. I wear contacts, and they're very powerful contacts, and when I'm in the shower, I don't have my contacts in, and I sure can't wear my glasses, and so I can't read shampoo, conditioner. I know the difference between the shave cream can and the shampoo bottle, but other than that, I can't read anything it says. We don't mess with that. But the spoon thing has got to go, right? Right? It just doesn't go. And I have this hobby of quilting as well. I quilt. Do you know what a perfectionist thing quilting is? Every seam is exactly 1/4 inch. And you have to press everyone perfectly in between rows to make the quilt go together. Now, during COVID, I have only been quilting for a couple years. I made probably 20 baby/lap quilts during lockdown, but then I decided to make one for myself, and I took on this big project of making a California queen quilt, or king quilt, in a French braid pattern, not understanding that if I was off by a 1/16 of an inch on one square, it wasn't going to go together so well. Long and short of this story is, the quilt top is finished. It's never been put to a quilt. It will get that done here sometime soon, but it's so far from perfect. And you know what? It's still beautiful. It is absolutely gorgeous laying on top of my bed before it's quilted, and it looks just the way I want. So let's take a look at this idea of perfection while we're striking it and make it divinity, because we are divine. But let's take a look at imperfection and see if we can come to terms with it. If you have your eyes open at all, especially this year, you're going to be acutely aware that there is a lot of imperfection happening in the world. There is a lot of imperfection happening in the world, and we just have to come to terms with it, and we just have to accept it and understand that it doesn't have to control every move that we're making in every day. There's this old saying about practice makes perfect. That was in our write-up for this week's talk. Practice makes perfect. My son, Stosh, he was a great athlete in high school. He's actually in the Chassa record books. His 4-year high school record for wrestling was 144-7. He won 144 matches. He lost 7. He never placed higher than 6th at state, though. But his coach would tell him all the time, practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect, and there's no such thing as perfect. Just keep practicing. Now, here we go back to my favorite topic that I talk to you guys about every time I'm up here, spiritual practice, right? So what if you're doing your practice and you feel like, I must be doing this wrong, nothing's happening. I prayed for this and I did that, and I meditated for 15 minutes this morning and I don't feel any more peaceful. Does that mean that your practice was wrong? Does that mean that your practice didn't work? Sometimes the answers to prayers are not exactly what we think they're going to be, or they take a little longer. Maybe God is cooking up something better than what you were praying for. But if I am trying to be perfect, and I think I got to meditate just like Sue, I got to meditate that long for that many hours a day or that many minutes, whatever it is, in order for me to be perfect as well, I'm missing the boat. If I think, boy, do I want to pray like Russell. And you guys, his prayer today, I just got to hand it to you, Russell. Every time you pray us in, it doesn't matter if you're praying us in for service or if you're praying us in before we come to service. You knocked me to my knees in the prayer this morning out in the lobby. It was beautiful. And I don't pray that way. I pray, and I pray good. And I feel like I know that when I pray, something happens. But I don't pray like Russell. But does that mean that my prayers aren't perfect? Does that mean that my prayers don't work if I don't pray just as eloquently as Russell does? Does it mean my meditation time is wrong if it's not just like Sue's? It doesn't. It means I'm doing me, and whatever I'm doing is just as divine as whatever they're doing. And God hears it, God acts on it just the same. To that point, in the SOM textbook, Ernest Holmes tells us that the only reason we are limited is that we have not allowed the divine within us to more completely express. What does that mean? I think that it means, what he means is that perfection would imply that we're all the same. And if we're all the same, what does that do for us? But that's not the case, thank God. All of the individual expressions, all of the diversities make up the whole, make up the oneness that we know exists between us all. And it takes all of the expressions to make the perfect whole. That same slide quote continues, our divine individuality compels infinity to appear in our experiences as duality because we believed in duality. But we no longer believe in duality. We believe in the oneness. And if we believe in the oneness, then all of the different expressions are part of that same divinity. There is no such thing as perfect because it's all divine. So now I'm really confused. If there's only one way to be, only one way to look, only one way to act, and only one way to succeed, what are we doing in the first place? Why aren't we all just little automatons following along and doing it all just exactly the same way? If we're using that word perfection as a gauge to who we are and what we do, we're missing the boat. And when we embrace imperfection as an integral part of our journey, we honor the divine wholeness that already encompasses us and all of existence. We begin to see that imperfections are not flaws to be fixed, but unique expressions of the divine in all things, including our imperfections. We open ourselves up to a deeper sense of connection and appreciation for the inherent beauty and diversity of our life and through all life. Through this understanding, we can cultivate self-acceptance and compassion and embrace the imperfections of ourselves as vital in our journey. And then we get to extend that same to everyone we meet. We can accept their not the sameness, in other words, their imperfections, as their own divinity. But imperfections in ourselves can feel like we're broken. Some of you have heard or said or seen this saying before, we're all broken. That's how the light gets in. These powerful words turn out to be a combination of quotes from Ernest Hemingway and Leonard Cohen. But I would also posit that it's also how our light gets out, is through our broken places. It's been my experience when I've made a mistake or a bad choice, or I show my own imperfection, that I come back stronger. I come back more loving, more compassionate, more whole for myself and for everyone in my community. When I've made a mistake and I own that mistake and I self-correct and I do the right thing, I come back bigger, better, and badder. It makes me a better person, it makes me a better practitioner, and it makes me a better minister. So, I've known I was doing this talk for months now, and I have, honest to goodness, listened to the entire book, The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown, on my Audible a full 2 times since I've known I'm doing this talk. And as of Wednesday night, I was still stuck. I didn't know what I was going to say to you people. I really did not have a clue. I'm like, imperfect? I totally embody that, but what am I going to say about it that fits in with our beliefs? How am I going to do that? And I took a break from making potato salad. And was cruising Facebook. And my son, my youngest son, Stosh, the one I told you about, he had made this post. And I wish I had been a little more thinking on it, a little less imperfect, and contacted Travis, because the video was absolutely perfect and it inspired everything I wanted to say to you guys today. It's about kintsugi. Now, Travis can play the video, but we can't get the audio, so you'll just have to find it yourselves. Kintsugi, also known as golden repair or golden joinery, is the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery by mending the areas of breakage with yashuri lacquer dusted or mixed with powdered gold, silver, or platinum. In Japan, when pottery is broken, the pieces are carefully gathered and taken to a special artist who does something called kintsugi, which is reassembling the object with a mixture. It makes the pottery stronger than it was before. It's definitely more beautiful than it was before, and it's more valuable than it was before. And once the piece is returned to the owners, it is given a special place of honor in their home because of what it represents. When life breaks you, you can take that pain and use it to become a whole new version of yourself, stronger and more beautiful, and more valuable than you ever thought you could be. Isn't that a beautiful way of thinking about our healings? Whether you're going through grief or disappointment, or just the idea that you just don't quite measure up in one way or another because you aren't perfect. Can't you just picture God sitting there in the sanctuary of your heart, with her little paintbrush and some gold, putting you back together. No matter how broken you may be, God is eager to do his kintsugi within you. Let God bring you to wholeness by turning to him in faith. That's from that beloved Bible. His power is made perfect in weakness. Isn't that a beautiful piece of pottery? Isn't the art form, the idea, just wonderful about taking our broken pieces, taking what we can call our imperfections or our mistakes or our bad choices or where we aren't quite measuring up, whether it's on our tally sheet or someone else's, and mending them together with that beautiful gold. The beauty of God's work in you will make a difference in the lives around you. So by releasing the need to measure up to an unattainable standard of perfection, we reclaim our power and we liberate ourselves from self-judgment. We recognize that that what we view as imperfections are not true. These same misbeliefs do not define our work. We understand that our value is based on our inherent divine nature. Instead of perfect, we're divine. Instead of flawed, we are still divine. We are mended together with that same gold. And when we embrace our imperfection, it fosters resilience. And I think we all need quite a good dose of resilience lately and coming forward. We all need that resilience. Because life is full of ups and downs, challenges and setbacks. And when we can accept that imperfection is our natural state of being, but it still keeps us divine, we become better equipped to navigate all of those inevitable bumps we're going to run into in the world. We develop the resilience to bounce back from failures and setbacks, and we can view them as opportunities for growth and learning. We understand that it is through facing and overcoming challenges that we truly evolve and expand our experience in this life. So, CSL's invitation and call to action is to reflect on how perfectionism may have previously hindered personal and spiritual growth. I know that for me, perfectionism shows up a lot as procrastination. Right? I knew about this talk for 2 months. I listened to the book twice. Wednesday night, I started writing the talk because I was just not coming up with what would be perfect to talk to you all about imperfection until my son puts this broken pottery thing on Facebook. How silly is that? How silly is that? I think it was probably divinely appointed, but it was rather silly for me to allow myself to be so stressed out about it for so long. So as we cultivate that sense of compassion and authenticity, we can embrace our own imperfections. And we can embrace those same imperfections in everyone around us, even the people we see on TV, even the people we read about in the news, even the people we don't agree with. They're not perfect, but they are divine one way or another. And to not accept them as being so leads us down that path of duality and out of the path of oneness that we so strongly believe in. The path to spiritual and personal evolution lies not in the pursuit of perfection, but in the recognition and celebration of our own imperfections. As we embrace the divine wholeness within us, we can release the illusion of duality and cultivate authenticity and growth Through imperfection, we embark on a journey of self-discovery and self-love, deeper compassion, deeper understanding, and a deeper way of living. Let us have a prayer. Standing in this space and knowing that right where I stand, the divine stands with all of the same imperfections I've talked about. And that is true for myself. That is true for every person in this building, every person within the sound of my voice. That none of us are perfect on the outside, but we are all absolutely, perfectly divine on the inside. We are just who we're supposed to be in every moment, in every way. And as we move forward and we see those places where maybe we might not be showing up as divine as we intended to show up, that right there is God with that perfect little paintbrush and gold, mopping us up and making us even more beautiful than we were before. I know that. I trust that. I know that every bump in the road, every misstep, every imperfection is already forgiven and moved back into alignment the moment it is happening. And I know that as we move forward along this journey, this bumpy road of being human, that those imperfections just make us shine brighter because we get more gold veins in our pottery. So I know as we move forward from today, we know, we can believe that God is working through us every moment, holding our hand in the rough spots, healing us in our times of need, and creating such beautiful pottery with each and every one of us. That grace that allows us to see the work that is being done is the same grace God is showing to us in every moment. So knowing this and accepting this and allowing these ideas to expand within my consciousness, I just release the words knowing that they are already true because it's all good. It's all God. And we say together, and so it is.
I am a gift, no matter my age, no matter how I look, I just don't let it stand in my way. I am a gift, and I promise every day, when I look in the mirror, I say, a gift. I am a gift, and I loved really well. And for every year I've lived, I've got a special tale to tell. I've made some mistakes, and and I've had some regrets, but I promise I'll never forget that I am a gift. There might be times when I forget the truth about me, when time and youth seem to be marching on without me. Well, that's when I think you need to find me, and ever so gently remind me I am a gift, a precious child, put here on this earth, but only for a while. I say this vow and I say it with great love. I am perfect and whole and enough. I am a gift. I am perfect and whole and loved enough. I am a gift. I am perfect and whole and enough. I am a gift. I am a gift. Sing I am a gift with me. I am a gift. I am. Sing it again. I am a gift. I am. One more time. I am a gift. I am. Woo, do it again. I am a gift. I am. I'll send one out to you. You are all a gift.